Hi and welcome to the Crochet Circle. My name is Alex and in today's video I want to show you how to make a Christmas tree. This is part 1 of the tutorial. It's gonna be a series of 4 different videos. So in this one I'm gonna show you just how to make the base. The base is gonna be a cone and I think I can just get started. I'm gonna leave the Christmas tree here by the side to keep me company. I'm gonna just draw it out really fast for you to see how it's gonna be made. So I'm gonna begin at the top. It's gonna be a magic ring. In that magic ring I'm gonna do 4 single crochets. Next row is gonna be 4 single crochets. It's gonna be a bit tricky making 4 single crochets, 2 rows of 4 single crochets to be honest, because the tip is really narrow, but I think it can be done, so that's it. Now the next row calls for 6 single crochets. That means I'm gonna be doing an increase and a single crochet, and I'm gonna repeat that twice. Now the next row is gonna be done only in back loops and it calls for 8 single crochets. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do an increase, a single crochet and a single crochet twice again. As you can see, I'm increasing by 2 stitches each row, and then the next row is gonna be just 8 single crochets. The next row, again only in back loops, it's gonna be 10 single crochets. That means an increase and then 3 single crochets, something like that. Again, I'm gonna repeat that twice. And the next row is again just 10 single crochets. Don't forget to be doing the back loops only. I hope I won't forget, to be honest. So the back loops will come in handy in the next part of the tutorial, where I'm gonna show you how to make the branches, because for these increases I'm gonna be using back loops, and for the branches they're gonna be made in the front loops only. I have my green yarn. I would prefer just a bit lighter green yarn, but they don't have it anymore, so I have to work with what I want. And I'm gonna be using a 3mm hook. Now, I didn't say anything about the height of the Christmas tree. That is just because the more rows you do, the higher the tree will be. So if you want a lower tree or a smaller tree, just do few rows. If you want a higher tree, then do more rows. If you do fewer rows, don't forget, it would be a really nice Christmas tree ornament that you can then hang actually on the Christmas tree. Now I'm gonna start. As I said, I'm gonna begin with the magic ring. How I do a magic ring? I just get my yarn and then I pulled my yarn twice over my thumb. I go with my crochet hook under both of the loops, and then I grab the yarn. I do a slip stitch and I do a chain 1. This chain 1 does not count as a stitch, it just means I'm going up 1 row. Now the first row is 4 single crochets, so that's 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now I'm gonna tighten up the magic ring. Now this is a bit tricky, as I already mentioned it, because you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets in those 4 single crochets. So the first row or the first 2 rows that I usually do are not turned the right way, because it's just much easier to work. I am gonna flip it over then after the second row or the third row when I'm gonna be doing it. I've done 2 stitches, now I need 2 more, so that's 3 and 4. As you can see, the work is not turned on the right way, so I have to kind of push it through and the work will be turned onto the right side. Okay, so now I'm up to row number 3. Row number 3 is it requires 6 stitches, so that means I'm gonna be doing an increase and a single crochet. An increase is just 2 single crochets in the same stitch, so that's 1, 2, and a 3 will be just a normal single crochet. Now again, the next one is an increase, like 4 and 5, and then the 6th one is just a single crochet. Now that's row number 1, 2, and 3 done. Now I'm up to row number 4, and don't forget, row number 4 is done only in the back loops. So you can see, wait, I'm gonna just get this is the front loop, not through this one, not through both, but only the back loop. So the next row again is an increased row, so that means I'm gonna be doing an increase in the back loops only, so that's 1, 2, and then 3, 4 are gonna be single crochets in the back loop only. That means 3 and 4. Now 5, 6 is again an increase in the back loop only. 5, 6, and 7, 8 are just single crochets. 7 and 8, and don't forget, in back loops only. Now the next row calls for just 8 single crochets in a round, so just normal single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now the next row is again in the back loops only and an increase, and it's gonna be done as an increase. It's 1, 2 in the back loops only, and then 3 single crochets. That means 3, 4, and 5. 6, 7 are again in the back loops an increase. 6, 7, and now 8, 9, 10. Just single crochets. And the next round is just 10 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Starting to get a cone, and I hope you can see these are the front loops, because I've been doing just the back loops of the rows where there are increases. So I'm just gonna repeat this kind of a thing until I get the desired length. So in the next row I'm gonna have 12 stitches. That means I need to do an increase for one, and an increase is always in the back loops only. So in the back loop only an increase, and then 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and now again an increase, 7, 8, and 4 more single crochets. That's 9, 10, 11 and 12. Again, the next row is just 12 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. I think you can see the front loops now much better. So I've done a normal row, now I need to do an increased row again. That means I'm gonna be doing in the back loops only, and I'm gonna do an increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now 8, 9 is again an increase, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. Now the next row is just 14 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. That's the cone. So I had 10, 12, 14, and then I'm gonna be going to 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, and you can continue for as long as you want. Now I need to do 16, so that means I'm gonna be doing increased stitches, and that also means I'm gonna be doing this round only in the back loop. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 9, 10 is an increased stitch. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. And now what I have to do is just 16 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So I'm just gonna make a dot here. That means I'm done with the 16. Now I'm up to 18. Now for 18 again, it's gonna be an increase. So first I do an increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now 10, 11 is an increase, and then I have to count till 18 to get 18 stitches. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Now the next row is just 18 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. That's the cone progressing. So that was 18 stitches. Now I'm up to 20, so I'm gonna do an increase, 1, 2, count to 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Don't forget, only through the back loops. Now I need to do 11, 12 again, an in stitch, an increase stitch, and then count to 20, so that's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now the next row is just 20 single crochets. That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now the next row will have 22 stitches, so that means in the back loops only an increase, and then I have to count to 11 with just single crochets. An increase was 1, 2, now I'm on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 are an increase stitch, and then to 22 just single crochets. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. I hope you can see the front loops. These are gonna be then used for the branches. Now I have to do 22 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 22. Now I'm up to 24, so this is the increase row. That means just in the back loops I have to do an increase. That means 1, 2, and then I have to count to 12 to get half of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have to count to half of the row because I need to do 2 increases, so it's just halfway there. Now 13, 14 are an increase, and then up to 24 again just single crochets. Now I'm on 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Now the next row is just 24 single crochets. Now the next row again is gonna be an increase up to 26, so I need to do an increase and then 11 more single crochets, again an increase and 11 more single crochets, or perhaps if you count like me, the first 2 stitches are an increase, so that means 1, 2 are an increase, and then count to 13, just half of it, do another increase, and then again count to 26. So it's gonna be an increase, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 and 15 are actually an increase. It was so nice counting. I forgot to increase. I did manage it just in case, just in the end. So 14, 15, this is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 and 26. Now again, the next row is just gonna be 26 single crochets. Still need a few more rows. Again, if you want it shorter, you can already stop. If you want it taller, you can carry on, even when I'm gonna finish. So the next row is 28, so that means I'm gonna do an increase just in the back loops, and then in the back loops count to 14. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now it's gonna be an increase for 15, 16, 17 is gonna be already a normal single crochets, 18 all the way to 28, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 and 28. Now the next row is just 28 single crochets, so that's 1, 2, 3, halfway there. So that's with 28 done. Now I'm on to 30. That means the first 2 stitches are an increase. That means 1, 2 is an increase. Then I have to count with just single crochets and only in the back loops till 15. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now 16, 17 is an increase, and then just single crochet till I hit 30. That's 20. That's 30 done, so all I have to do now is 30 single crochets all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 30. Now I am gonna continue, I think, I'm gonna continue 2 more increases, so I think I will finish at 34 stitches. Now I'm up to 32, so that means first 2 stitches, 1, 2 are gonna be an increase, then single crochets till I hit 16, and then repeat it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is an increase, and then up to 32. That's 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 31 and 32. Now the next row is just 32 single crochets. And 32. Now again, the next row is an increase, so it's gonna be 34 at the end. That means half is 17. I'm gonna be doing an increase, count till 17, 18, 19 an increase, and then count to 34. Now that's 16 and 17. Now I need an increase. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, 4, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34. Now the next row is just single crochets. That means I'm gonna do 34 single crochets in a round. Now on 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34. I'm gonna do one more row, so I'm gonna stop at when I'm gonna have 36 stitches in a round. Now again, this is gonna be an increase row. That means I'm doing only in the back loops 1, 2, and then I have to count till 18. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Now 19, 20 is again an increase. And then I have to count to 36, so that's 21, 22, 23, now that's 36. Now the last row is gonna be just 36 single crochets all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, okay, now that's 35 and 36. And now I'm gonna finish with part number 1, to be honest, because in the next part I'm gonna show you how to make the branches. So I hope you've done your cone already. Do not cut the yarn. I repeat, do not cut the yarn, because for the branches we're gonna be working from the bottom up, and you're gonna see it's gonna be really easy. If you want a smaller, you can definitely make a shorter one. If you want a bigger tree, then do few more rows. I ended my rows when I had 36 stitches in a round. So I'm gonna leave you here for you to do the cone, and don't forget, in part number 2, that is in the description below, there is also a link to it. I'll be making the branches. So until the next time, happy crafting!